As you will well know if you have ever swung a golf club or been to a driving range, let alone played a round of golf, the game of golf can be incredibly frustrating. So when it comes to big tournaments, some golfers have some cardinal rules they live by to give them the best possible chance of a big performance. Today, we're looking at how golfers get prepared for a golf tournament. Stay tuned. First of all, we're talking about tinkering with that swing. Many golfers, whether it be the top-class pros or just the regular amateurs, love to mess about with their swing in the lead up to a tournament. They believe that altering it just that little bit can be the difference between glory and finishing way off pace. If you have confidence in your swing, it is one less thing to worry about during your round. But in the build-up to a big tournament, you should not be altering your swing. This is what those weeks out of competition are for. The best thing you can do when preparing for a tournament is to focus on little things like grip and stance, as if you try to alter the one thing that brought you to the party in the first place, it could have disastrous consequences. The golfers who have the most success are the ones who have confidence in their swings. So try to resist that urge to change it up in the lead up to a tournament. And when that tournament passes, go and see a swing coach if you're still worried about it. Next up, get to work on that practice green. It's no use whatsoever if you're Brooks Koepka when driving and then you get around the green and it takes you 4 or 5 strokes to hole out. In tournament play especially, when you're tense and nervous, your short game is imperative to the health of your scorecard, and the confidence a nice chip to within a few feet of the pin can bring is often game-changing. Some ways you can assess your short game before that big tournament is to do some drills on the practice green. First of all, throw your ball onto the practice green randomly, and then pick a pin on the green to chip at. The idea is to use 2 strokes to hole out, so you want to get the ball as close to the pin as possible and then putt for 1. You should keep a track of your progress by recording how many times you successfully managed to complete the drill in 2 strokes out of 10 tries. You can sharpen up your skills around the green by repeating this drill a couple times a day in the build-up to the big tournament. What is your favorite practice drill? Let us know below. We're discussing a pretty obvious one now. Stay tuned. Whilst some golfers claim that there is no real difference from course to course, we are of the opinion that that is nonsense. There is no substitute for experience, and by that we mean actually playing the course in question. If the tournament location is known, and if it's within a reasonable distance from home, many golfers will choose to book a round or 2 on the course in question before the tournament rolls around. This gives the golfer a chance to get to know the course and suss out any potential problem holes. We all have specific holes on specific courses, which we dread, right? Playing the course beforehand will also give the golfer the chance to get to know the greens. The pros spend a ton of time around greens in the build-up to the tournament, and the old mantra of drive for show, putt for dough is one that obviously rings true. And what better way to be able to putt for dough than to actually get up close and personal with the greens before the tournament? If you can't get to the course, one little trick a lot of golfers will use is to have a look on Google Earth to see if there are any hazards, tricky dog legs, or narrow fairways. This helps them to prepare mentally for what will be in store. Have you ever done this? Let us know below. Note-taking is up now. Stick around. A lot of golfers, from amateurs to pros, will all have the latest gadgets to measure distance, swing, and whatever else can be measured. But there is no substitute for the old classic notepad and pen. You will often see golfers writing things down in their notebooks during their rounds. But what are they writing? Well, most of the time, they keep a log of sorts as to what shot they just played and from what distance. Many golfers also use their notebooks to record information on the greens, what direction they slope, for example. This will help you when tournament day rolls around if you already have the green info written down whilst lining up your approach shot. That is just one less mental barrier to have to break down. Golfers will also use their notebooks to keep info on distances to certain hazards, and some will even use range finders if they're practicing on the same course they're going to be playing the tournament on, which helps them to mentally map out the course. What is your favorite course to play? Let us know below. Putting yourself in a pressure situation can also help. Stay with us to hear all about it. This is a fairly obvious preparation technique, but one a lot of golfers shy away from. Think about it. What is the point in practicing that 130-yard 9-iron onto the green when you know that's your best shot? We'll answer for you. There is no point. The way golfers excel at tournaments is by practicing shots which place you in the most trouble. Another different type of pressure is to play for a little money in the build-up to your tournament. By putting a couple of pounds or dollars or whatever currency you use on each hole, this will get you into a competitive mind frame and will only serve to benefit you when tournament time rolls around. If you have no one to play with in the days before your tournament, the best way to practice a pressure situation would be to put yourself in trouble on the course. But if you have a few pals on hand, suggest playing for some small stakes. A slightly less obvious way golfers prepare for big tournaments now. Stick around. If you've been a good boy or girl and done all your homework in the weeks leading up to the tournament, what a lot of golfers like to do on the night before said tournament is completely unplug and relax. Scrambling around a local course or hitting ball after ball on the range the night before a big tournament is going to do absolutely nothing to help your game for the following day. You'll be served much better by giving yourself a complete mental and physical rest. Stressing out that your drive isn't as good as it should be is only going to add to your nerves, and you will be far better off just kicking back and watching a movie, or whatever it is you do to relax. If relaxing to you is playing golf, then find another hobby for 24 hours. Next up, have you put the work in? One way, which might possibly be the most important golfers like to prepare for a big tournament, is the mental satisfaction they get from knowing they have put the work in. When a golfer knows they have put the hard yards in, that will only show in their game. If you don't put the work in and you turn up on tournament day thinking you can win, you're only lying to yourself. In the weeks building up to the big tournament, you have to pay attention to every facet of your game. It goes without saying that the weakest areas of a golfer's game should be where the most time is spent. And believe us, we know how easy it is to hit the same shot you are great at over and over. You should also familiarize yourself with a pre-shot routine that works for you and stick to it. A lot of golfers these days like to work with what is called a launch monitor. Many of you will know what we're talking about and might even use one yourselves, but if you don't know, you should definitely have a look into them, which will help you dial in the distances you are hitting with your clubs. Some of the best launch monitors on the market today are SkyTrack Launch Monitor, FlyScope Mevo Plus Launch Monitor, and the Mevo Launch Monitor. Which launch monitor would you recommend? Amateur golfers will often not bother with something they see as only for the pros. But how do you expect to ever improve with this mentality? If there is a technique that can add to your game, then why wouldn't you use it? The professionals obviously see some value in it, and you should too. As always, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to swing by next time for some more fun and games. Also, remember to like, subscribe, and share our video today. Adios, amigos.